Alright, so here's where the trail actually started. Behind me it's already opened up. This is the area where we actually had to start using the Bush Hog, and as you can see I had a couple trees in my way that were a little too big for the Bush Hog, but I'll bring a chainsaw out and clean that up. We're just going to go on a walk. I'll speed up the video and show you what the Bush Hog's actually done. I have to slow down here for a second and explain that this is a part of the property that hasn't been seen in 2 years. When we first bought the property, we could walk this path, and it quickly overgrew. I believe that other than where the house sits, it's the highest elevation on the property. With the tractor, I simply put it in a low gear and just let it keep driving forward. I knew the terrain, I knew there weren't fences behind it, I knew it used to be a path and that there weren't any large trees in the way. So it felt like a pretty safe thing to do, and I'm pretty impressed with the results. This of course is a couple different passes. Got a 6-foot box blade, paths anywhere from 8 to 10 feet wide, really just depending on if there was a big tree in the way or not. I'm going to pause here for a second and just point out that all of this, I mean, you can see the amount of destruction on the floor, but it was impossible for me to film the actual action of this. There was no way for me to put the camera any place where you could see anything, and it was totally unsafe to try to hold the camera. But this right here, this thicket, this overgrowth, the entire thing was like that. And all I did was put it in drive and go, and came out the other end. Thankfully there was a clearing down here that hadn't overgrown. This is where I was able to turn around. This little clearing here was not overgrown very much, and I don't expect it to show up on the video, but back in there, oh, I don't know, 30 feet or so, there's a tree with some surveyor tape on it where the pin is for the furthest corner of our property from the house. And from there, the property line goes in that direction. So one day, this area over here, just to the right of this large tree on the left of the picture, used to be cleared out. I don't believe that most of that's on my property, so I'm going to double check with the neighbors before I upset anybody and clear that out to try to help locate where I want my path to go to my next property line over here. It's about a 300-foot shot through those woods, and it's just impossible to try to walk it with a compass or anything like that and get a really good straight line with how thick it is in there. I've done it before, got a video from a year ago where we did it, but what I'd rather do is just plow through where I can and slowly work my way over to where the line is. And like I say, check with the neighbors about clearing out this path that used to be cleared out before, so I can make another loop. The Bush Hog said that it had a 2-inch diameter rating. First joint on my thumb's about 1 inch. Did a pretty good job. Clearing out this path for a couple of reasons. Number one, I just like being able to take a walk around the property. But also, my wife has the homeschooling group coming over this coming Tuesday to work on their DIY.org badges. It's kind of like scouts, if you will, for homeschoolers. And they're going to come over and search a property for edible plants for a survivalist badge. So they needed a cleared out path to get around the property. Okay, here's where we get honest. I got lazy. And you can see the damage that was caused from it. I had a bit of the electrical fence on the left, which has been turned off for about 2 weeks. And then over on my right, I have what looks like an oak tree. And in trying to avoid the oak tree, my bucket barely nicked that field post and snapped it in a bunch of pieces. Good news, that's a $2.50 fix, so no big loss. Alright, so here we are back nearby where the scene was first set up, and show you how cleared out that is. Again, the purpose was, while we normally walk down from the house that direction, it was going to be impossible to get the tractor through there without moving the electric fencing. So I decided I wanted to come through this way. But the problem I quickly ran into is this big drop-off, which I'm not entirely sure what caused it. It's the perfect width of a vehicle, like a bulldozer. So I'm guessing some kind of machinery was involved. And it's very easy for me to get down that, but then to get up, as you probably noticed in the video, I was having to back up this way and then try to meander myself just above where it drops, which is, it drops, if you can't see the contour in the video very well, right where that last standing sapling is. And I just really couldn't get a good angle on that or it wouldn't still be standing. And it was a real big difficulty. I mean, I've brought a lawnmower down here before, one of them beefed up fancy lawnmowers that they like to call a lawn tractor, and actually bent the frame once because I couldn't see this ditch, which you can kind of make out from the tire ruts. And I even spun out the tractor in it a few times. But thankfully the tractor is much well built and it doesn't bend anything like it did on the lawnmower. But anyway, that is the devastation that a bush hog can cause. And right now, that's exactly what it seems like, is just devastation. But we're going to preen this property a little more for our use, and then something like a bush hog would be used much more judiciously to simply clear out a path around the property for things like fence maintenance and so forth, not just to cause devastation on a wide scale whenever I feel like it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the action shot, since several people were asking for that. And rather than have you watch one really long video, this one was set up separately so anybody who wanted to see the actual results could see what the bush hog accomplished. Thank y'all for watching.